Hey, Dragon Slayers. Right now, my blood sugar is 103, and that's about 45 minutes since my last meal. So today's video is going to be kind of a recap of everything that I've talked about before. I stumbled upon this great article, which is rare that I do, because so much information out there about diabetes management is terrible. And this article is about how to increase insulin sensitivity. So we'll just start with some of the basics. As most of you know, insulin is a hormone that is normally released by the beta cells of the pancreas. When a person's pancreas cannot produce enough insulin to sustain good health, insulin can be injected into the body with a needle, inhaled with an inhaler, or infused with the pump. And it talks about what is insulin sensitivity. It says one of the main functions of insulin is to lower blood glucose levels by enabling glucose to enter the cells of the body, where it is used for energy or stored for the future. A person who is insulin sensitive needs only a relatively small amount of insulin to keep blood glucose levels in the normal range and to keep the body's cells supplied with glucose that they need. A person who's insulin resistant, on the other hand, needs a lot more insulin to get the same blood glucose lowering effects. And then it goes on to talk about ways that you can lower your insulin sensitivity. It says at the top of the list is physical activity. It has a significant positive effect on insulin sensitivity. It may have the biggest effect of any measure you could take to improve your insulin sensitivity. Not exactly true, but it does help a lot. It says any type of physical activity has the potential to make your insulin work better, and combining aerobic activities such as brisk walking, swimming, and cycling with resistance training or weight training appears to have the greatest effect. And it gives more details on why exercise increases insulin sensitivity. Absolutely true. But the number one thing that you can do to increase insulin sensitivity is to not produce as much insulin. And the number way to not produce as much insulin is to fast. And the number two way is to lower your carbohydrates to as low as possible. Fasting is the most powerful thing you can do to lower insulin, but you have to eat. If you don't eat, you will die. You can't fast forever. So, number two is lowering your carbs, right? That's going to be the second greatest thing as far as multiplier. Fasting is number one, lowering your carbs as low as possible is number two. And then it goes on to talk about how they give an example of improved insulin sensitivity, which I thought was also great. It says that, for example, in a recent study of older individuals with diabetes, it says even when they were already walking at least 10,000 steps a day, their fitness and diabetes was controlled by benefit from doing a pick up the pace training consisting of 10% faster pace for 30 minutes, 3 days a week. For a person that usually takes 90 steps per minute, an average of 10% faster would mean 99 steps per minute instead. So they're just basically saying, yeah, if you, whatever level that you're doing already, increase it by 10%, it's going to have a more profound effect when it comes to exercise, which is absolutely true. It talks about resistance work, and it says that it'll benefit you the most to build up a weight resistance that you can lift at least 8 times. And then it talks about when you're first starting out resistance training, it's okay to do lighter weights and less resistance until you familiarize yourself. Good advice. They talk about how does intermittent fasting improve insulin sensitivity. It says that alternate day fasting or fasting every other day lowered fasting insulin and insulin resistance more than calorie restriction in adults with overweight or obesity and insulin resistance, according to a journal of obesity. It says that among alternate day fasters, there was a 52% reduction in fasting insulin and a 53% reduction in insulin resistance compared to the 14 and 17% reductions, respectively, on the calorie restricted diet. So, more information on fasting that we've already known as a community that fasting is better than calorie restriction across the board. So, the number one thing you can do to lower your insulin resistance is to fast and intermittent fast, extended fast and intermittent fast. Number two thing is to lower your carbohydrates as much as possible. Number three thing is to get rid of and eliminate all the bad oils from your diets. and I have videos explaining and highlighting what bad oils are. Number 4 is exercise, right? You definitely want to do that. And number 5 would be to get better sleep, reduce your stress. All of these things combined over a long period of time. It's going to take months to years to do this. It took me 4 years to get to the point that I am now to build my routine, but you can do it too. And I'm going to keep giving you guys more tips and tricks. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember that together, you and I will slay the dreaded diabetes dragon.